Katie, if you're watching this, just it may or may not happen, but I made a promise.
Click on the screen a few times to the right.
Skip over this. But I made a promise to my girlfriend that I was only going to have one Subaru at a time because I kind of got out of hand last year. But I got the opportunity to buy a real Japanese Subaru WRX.
You should explain to the good people how out of hand your Subaru-ness got.
Well, I had 12 Subarus at a time for a long time that all didn't run.
All WRXs.
All WRXs of all different years and sizes and shapes and disheveled pieces of Subarus. When I moved out of my shop, I actually threw away 2 tons
of Subaru parts.
Yeah, that's including a shell and some other stuff. But
he's being humble. The man is a menace. He had a garage in Spokane that's like 2.5 hours, 3 hours from here.
No, it's 2.
He'd work here all day, go there, work all night, sleep on like a cement floor for like 40 minutes, and then come back here and do the same thing again for months on end, to the point where Ethan and I sat you down and we're like, dude, because at the time, one of your big goals is to work for us full time. Yeah. We're like, dude, it's kind of got to be one or the other. Like you had some zombie days, man.
Yeah, I had some times when I was just literally a shell of myself walking around.
So it was at the point where you were spending all of your money, all of your time, and like risking employment. You were so obsessed with these Subarus and none of them ever worked.
Well, like I would get like one limping along the streets for a little while and use like other pieces of Subaru to keep that one going. And then like I would realize that I needed to buy another one because it had this transmission and I wanted to put it in this Subaru. So like I just kept them around and it really kept the passion going. But then I took a step back. I talked to my girlfriend and I took a step back and I realized that was just not healthy to have that many Subarus. And we made the one Subaru rule. Okay.
Okay.
But lately, I found this premium Subaru from Japan. So it's right-hand drive. It's really nice. It's a wagon. They never made them in the U.S.
Oh, dang.
It just got imported. And I got like the deal of a lifetime to get this. It has blown head gasket. Okay. That's why I'm getting the deal.
Uh-huh.
But it's such a good deal, I couldn't pass it up. And I started talking to this guy, and he really talked me into getting it. And I was like,
how much is it?
Well, I've got him talked down to $4,800. They're usually like 13 grand, a little disheveled. And this one is like very nice, and it has its title paperwork and all its import paperwork. It just needs a head gasket. I was like, well, I can do a head gasket in a day. But where am I going to put this where my girlfriend doesn't know that I have another Subaru?
What if you sell yours so you can buy this one?
I don't know. It's like a guilt thing for me because the Subaru I have right now is a rendition of my yellow Subaru that I sold and I said I would never sell. Mm-hmm. So I kind of never can sell the Subaru I have right now.
That means you can never have another Subaru.
But maybe I could. I was looking at some options. I could just put it somewhere and slowly craft it together and then switch them out every once in a while and just say I bought a different Subaru.
That's the best idea you've come up with?
Well, she's getting really close to finding out. Because she was going through my phone and she saw me talking to Davey about transport situations for it. And she was like, what are you doing on Thursday? And I was like, I don't know.
Thursday? So you already agreed
next
to do
week,
it.
Yeah. So I have like a time and date of pickup and everything.
Oh.
At night, like a black ops situation. On where to drop this thing and everything. And she was going through my phone and she found some text messages because she was looking for a photo. And she found these text messages between Davey and I about picking up something on Thursday. And she was like, what is this? And I just told her that we were just going to hang out. So
that was a
she's
bad
still
move,
asking me, man.
If it's coming that soon, you just got to tell her.
I don't know. I really don't know.
But if you say you're going to turn it around and sell it, she might be okay with it. But you're not going to sell it.
I want to sell it. I want to keep it. I really miss the days. It's like the good old days of having like a whole bunch of Subarus just all over the place. It's really nice.
Oh, man. For some reason, I thought it was going to have more impact.
No, it's
like the way you're telling the story. I was like, Will found like a really good deal.
It is a really good deal.
It's relative, man.
No.
If you paid someone to do the work you're going to do on it, if that's the only problem, you're about at break even.
Yes, I would be at break even, but the fact of the matter is a head gasket for a Subaru is $30. And the work required, if I take my time, is like 5 hours if nothing goes wrong.
You know when you do a terrible hike, like it's raining and you go anyways, and then you're like, oh, like by the time you're back, you're like, I'll never do that again.
Nah.
But then like the time passes, you're like, oh yeah, that was actually really fun. That was really nice. You agree to do it again. And then you're like, oh yeah, never again. It's the same thing with hangovers. Never again.
And then you do it again.
Exactly.
Same thing with Subarus.
That's my impression from your story.
Yeah, but I was asking as a friend, I was going to ask, like, is this wrong that I want to hide a Subaru somewhere and build it and then just have it, you know?
I'm the wrong person to ask, man. I get in the doghouse more than anybody I know. I'm always doing things I shouldn't be doing.
I could also pitch it as, like, practicality. As a four-door wagon, turbocharged, reliable.
It's not going to work, man. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, man.
It's not going to work, but, I mean...
I don't know, man.
You just got to decide what's more important to you.
But it's something that I don't really know yet if it's going to happen because I'm going against someone else that's really heavily into the Subaru.
How did you find this? This isn't the kind of thing you find unless you're looking.
Well, I had my notifications turned on when it was for sale without a blown head gasket. Because I knew there was maybe a chance that it would blow a head gasket or something, and he would list it for way cheaper. And so... he had it listed for a pretty high amount, like 10 grand.
Yeah.
And it had just a couple electrical problems at that point. And so I was like, okay, that's like pretty expensive for that car with electrical problems, but I'll see if it goes down. And then it went down to like a pretty reasonable number. And I was like, oh. And then I shot him my lowest offer, and he was like, maybe I could make that work. And I was like, oh. And then it kind of like got me interested, you know? And then when I get on the grind of getting someone lower in the money,
you are a hustler.
I like can't get out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's why I really, here's an option. I don't think this deal will be around for very long.
Yeah.
But we've never talked about this publicly. But you and I, every time we get together and it's like just us, so we're like driving to pick something up or whatever, we always end up talking about the trade up challenge. Starting with something for free on Marketplace and working our way all the way up to a more expensive item. This is the loophole you're looking for. It's not your Subaru. Yeah. It's crafting for work.
Yeah.
You can still drive it around and stuff.
Yeah. And then
but it's not your Subaru.
Yeah. I crafted this for work. It's a work expense.
Dude, I bet if we started now on the trade up challenge, we can get to like $5,000 in a couple weeks.
I bet so. And I think that's actually, I was thinking about it earlier. I think that's actually what is addicting to me with Subaru.
You like the deal. Yeah.
I like the deal.
You like the finesse.
And Subaru is one of the most deal cars because you can get them with problems and flip them for more when they work.
See, I was in a similar situation with Pokemon cards in kind of like my early 20s. I was like, oh yeah, like I was selling cards on eBay, building really nice decks and like, but I was spending more than I was making because I wasn't selling.
Yeah. Because you get them and you're like, oh man, maybe I could just keep this one. But
your street smarts want to say don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is you make really cool Pokemon decks and you wreck little kids at tournaments and it makes you happy, which is very similar, I assume. to blowing all your money on Subarus and thinking that you're making money.
Yep.
When really, since you keep them all, you're
and then
not
it just
making money.
funds the projects that you have, and you don't actually make money.
Exactly. But if it was for a YouTube video
and it was about getting money,
then the car isn't really yours. It's Grindhard's, and it's a Hustle City piece of content.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited about the Trade Up Challenge. I cannot wait to start that project.
Maybe we got to start and finesse this wagon, dude.
That would be premium.
Grindhard people would be stoked to see a JDM wagon in the driveway, man.
Yeah, I really want a JDM car.